Hello and welcome back to Prophecy of Pendor and our Ironman challenge. We're doing a Noldor tournament in the first little bit of this episode, and hopefully I will be able to win the day in more ways than one, because let's face it, I haven't had a good innings with tournaments recently. I'm going to need to at least kill one. There we go. That's all I needed. Thank you very much. I was a little bit worried about that for a second. I thought that maybe I might have some issues. But no, we're okay. Now, I did level up in the previous episode, if you recall, and I actually spec'd those points into Power Strike and into Pathfinding, because, amusingly enough, I'm actually the Pathfinder in our party. I did not even really realize that up until looking at my stats and everything, but there you go, we apparently are, and now we have 10 in Pathfinding, and I believe that is also going to graduate our maximum pathfinding to like 14 or something like that. I think we have 10 plus 4 now instead of 9 plus 3. I think that's how it is, at least. I haven't actually looked because I have been running around trying to defend Ethos and Marlians from a variety of different people. And I'm talking about Duke Brennus. Duke Brennus is being the most annoying person in the world right now. And we also have a couple of people from the Empire attempting to take some castles around Ethos as well, because I actually took Marlians back in my off-screen time. Pretty easy to do. They didn't have that many people in there. They had a couple of hundred, but they didn't have, it wasn't that easy, but it was simple enough just to go in there and do our thing, the thing that we usually do. Oh yes. Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't even realize that there was another team. This is bad. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, well, let's see if I can close the gap. Yep, there we go. That's all I needed. That is all I needed. Take this. Okay, there we go. Fantastic. And it seems like they're now fighting each other, which is okay. Unfortunately, they are now having some issues. I'm trying to shoot him in the knee, but that's not going to work. Okay, let's see if we can get a headshot. Yes. There we go. That's all we needed. All right, so let's go through to the next round. There's only there's only a couple of people remaining. Kill him. I don't mean that one. Oh no. Okay, well I leveled up Power Strike because I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe that's going to help us out a little bit here, because you can obviously tell that in previous episodes I haven't really been that good in terms of our damage output with melee. So kind of a good idea to see if we can maybe do something about that. I'm going to go for quick strikes right there because we really don't want to die. Thank you. Now, I'm actually here on the 3rd of the month, and the reason why is because I'm thinking that maybe that's going to have an effect on the rewards for the tournament itself, because I have always gone there at the 1st of the month in the last 3 months, in the last 3 tournaments, and I've always gotten armor of some kind. And so I'm thinking that maybe if I go at a different day or whatever the case may be, then maybe I'll get something a little better. Now, I understand that that is not the way it works. I know that that's not the way it works, but I'm a little bit superstitious in that respect, so I'm going to just try and make it the best that I can, and maybe we will be lucky to have something wonderful happen to us. So Qualis Gem, please. No. Armor. I actually wonder whether they have excluded the Qualis Gem from actually being given to us now. Well, unfortunately, as you can see right here, the various pieces of armor that we gained were not exactly great, although that's not really a knock against it, because you can see here that it's very good. It's actually very good stuff. I'm not saying that it's bad armor, it's just not as good as what I'm wearing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give these things to my companions next time we win a battle. Doing a little bit of saving at this village right here, trying to rid this village of the infestation of bandits, and well, hopefully gain some honor in the process. I think we will, of course. I think it's, what is it, +1 honor, so yeah. But I've been doing a whole bunch of these, as many as I can, and I've gained a pretty decent amount of honor in the meantime. Okay, so I'm actually participating in another tournament right now. This is not a Noldor tournament, unfortunately, but I am actually really broke right now because I literally just made enough money to be able to upgrade my knighthood order by one more time. And basically that means that I have literally nothing. I spent 80,000. I have about 20,000 left over, which is actually fine because I'm still gaining. I'm actually gaining a little bit of money every single week now instead of losing it, because beforehand I was actually losing money. And, well, obviously, if you're a little bit careful with your wages and things like that, then you're going to be able to, you know, get that back into the positive. Because before it was actually negative, like no one's business. I was losing, I don't know, between 3 and 8,000 every single time. And that was pretty harsh, you know, that was pretty harsh. But thankfully, I'm pretty good in these regular tournaments. Don't think I'm going to be beaten that easily because, let's face it, we're not fighting against Noldor here, are we? Well, there's another Ranger of the Clarion Call knocked out, and we are on to the final round, which is going to be a 1 versus 1, of course. And, oh, wow, I have a Lance. Oh, wow, they have a Lance as well. This might be a bit problematic, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my normal attack, and I'm just going to do very little bits of damage and just try and outrange. There we go. Wow, that actually worked. Okay, kind of crazy. Anyway, this is actually at Laria right now, and there you go. Look at that. Over 20,000 for this, which is great because that's going to mean that we're going to gain even more cash. I actually did attempt to do another tournament off screen, and I failed miserably. So this is really nice that we were able to actually achieve a victory for once. What is this? Ah, we have been awarded another achievement. Seems like the achievements are coming very, very fast and very smoothly indeed, ever since those couple that happened in the previous couple of episodes. Anyway, you've conquered all comers in 50 tournaments and now bear the title Tournament Champion with +1 Weapon Master and reward for your mastery of all forms of tournament combat. All right, no, that's pretty nice. So if you just do the mathematics on this, 50 tournaments, times by 20,000, that's a lot of money. It is now time for us to take the fight to the Empire once more. Now bear in mind that because Almera Castle was kind of annoying, I decided to do that off screen, and literally I just basically, as I said to you in the previous episode, I just went to the top of the hill and I took a bunch of archers. I actually reformulated my army in such a way so that I literally just had archers or units that were capable of ranged combat, and you can see here that my units are literally just firing a huge amount of, well, everything at the opponent, including the kitchen sink. Yes, including the kitchen sink. And this guy is actually attempting to cross over to Almera Castle at the moment, so I'm going to try and stop him as best I can. And this guy only has about 80 units in his army, but you can see here he's actually proving himself to be very, very difficult to eliminate. Look at this. What is going on with this guy? I'm not entirely sure. He has a lot of relatively high tier units as well, so he might actually even cause a bit of a problem for our people. Who knows? Who knows? But yes, thankfully that castle is now out of the way, and well, Avendor is obviously still a thing, so we're gonna have to do that as well. But it's all right, because I'm thinking what I'm gonna do now that Almera Castle is conquered, I will place all of my Iron Knights and Iron Sergeants and various other automatically recruited units in the garrison at Laria, and I will basically just leave them there for the foreseeable future until I gain enough. I'm talking about maybe 100 or so of you know, the Iron Knights, and then we will bring them out when they have a suitable critical mass, I guess you could say. And that's probably going to make all the difference in how successful we are in the final sieges of each of the factions. Because with the conquering of Almera Castle, there's only 3 fiefs left in the Empire, and I'm talking about Janos, Sez, and one of their castles. So it's going to be pretty harsh. Oh, we do actually get an opportunity to take this guy prisoner as well, but he is a martial personality, so it's highly unlikely that I'm going to do that. This guy's also martial. So everyone in their family is actually martial, apart from Agathon, who we actually have. Yes, he's upstanding. He's absolutely fantastic, as we know. Oh, now what do we have here? It looks as though we have a peace agreement from the Empire itself, and I think I'm probably going to be accepting this because, as I've said before, we have been able to expand our territory and reduce theirs by a pretty significant margin, and this is exactly what I wanted in the previous episode. I said, hey, I'd love to get a peace agreement. It's going to give me a little bit more right to rule. It's going to be hopefully being able to unlock a couple more mercenary companies and things like that, because right to rule is what determines what kind of mercenary companies you can actually recruit. And also, we're currently at RANE at the moment, and I would like to be able to capture that and focus on eliminating Sarlian as much as possible. And we have now built our siege tower. So here's the main problem with RANE. The siege tower, and the layout itself is actually quite tough. I have attempted to do this in my off-screen time, at least to weaken the garrison, and I did this, or I attempted to do this, shall we say, a number of episodes ago, and I'm talking about, I don't know, 10, 15 episodes ago. I did attempt to come up here and try and weaken the garrison a little bit for an upcoming episode, and I couldn't really do it for some unknown reason. I think the main reason for it, though, is the insidious nature of the garrison's layout. And you can see exactly what I mean by that when we start taking some damage here. But you can see that in general, there are a huge amount of different areas where archers can just pop up out of nowhere and just give you a free, quick headshot. And that's exactly what generally tends to happen to me. I tend to get pretty wounded, not knocked unconscious or killed or anything like that, because that would obviously indicate a failure of the Ironman challenge. But the point is that in these kinds of things, I generally tend to be much more careful nowadays because, well, it's getting to that time where we could potentially be victorious and not have any death whatsoever, which would be fantastic. But of course, it is just a matter of survival, and it's a matter of keeping my arrows as well, because I have found that in the past, when I have attempted to achieve any kind of victory in these town type sieges where there are a lot of enemy archers, there's a lot of danger to face for us specifically, then it's a really good idea to keep a number of arrows remaining. I still have 26, so that is hopefully going to be enough to take us into the garrison itself. As you can see right here, that guy right there, he would have done so much damage to our forces, but thankfully there aren't any others, so we can kind of just relax a little bit until the enemies receive reinforcements and then take some more archers over there. But you can see here that the main problem are dragon drakes. They do have a knighthood order here, as far as I'm aware, and that knighthood order is capable of automatically recruiting a bunch of very high tier, very tough units in the form of dragon drakes and knights of the dragon, as far as I'm aware as well. And those guys are tough. Yeah, they're definitely tough, that's for sure. So now that I'm at the back here, I should have a much easier time of things. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go into first person, and I'm just going to shoot enemies as much as possible. So we're just going to get a huge amount of headshots right here, try and eliminate them as best I can. It's a bit difficult. Look at that. These guys are not dying. Interesting. Maybe I need to take a little bit longer to shoot. There we go. That's much easier. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so if we can just continue shooting into the main globule of units that we have over there. I've only got 3 arrows remaining, 2, 1, and now I need to go and pick up some more. But thankfully, because we are up against Sarlian and not up against, actually, we're not even up against Sarlian, we're up against Ravenstern, technically. So we have a bunch of Ravenstern archers, and even if we were against Sarlian, that would still be fine as well, because they also have archers that use arrows and not crossbow bolts. Because if we're fighting against the Empire, then it's basically impossible to get any resupply for my ammunition. So that's obviously something also to bear in mind when we actually go and take them out. But as it stands right now, I think we're actually doing pretty nicely. I'm actually kind of surprised. I would not have expected us to do okay at this point, because as I say, I had really bad experiences before of RANE, but I think it's because I've just been super careful. That's literally it. I have just been the most careful that I possibly can be. And you can see here that a lot of enemies are coming down the stairs over there as well. And they're going to make a bit of trouble for us. But here we go. Oh, hello. What? Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? That is not very nice of that guy. No, not very nice of that guy whatsoever. But okay, that just shows me that I need to be even more careful about enemies coming from behind and things like that. So maybe what I want to do, actually, I've got 25 hours remaining. Maybe I want to just go down here and see if I can maybe start to shoot them from behind. I have to be very careful about where the enemy respawns as well. Ah, they respawn up there. Okay, so that's not too bad. So we should have a pretty easy time of things like this. And then I can shoot from this way, which is actually really good, because they're not going to expect me shooting from here. I doubt anyone's going to come down the stairs to fight me as well, so I should be relatively safe. But that is... it's not a surefire thing. That is not a surefire thing, so... We'll see. We'll see. Okay, come on. Yes, we've got 5 hours remaining. Let's make them count. 1, 2... yeah, okay, we got some decent kills. Alright, so now we can pick up even more arrows, which is exactly the reason why you want to be fighting against factions that have arrows or have your chosen ammunition type. So you can just continue to rain death and destruction upon them. Or upward toward them, yes, because we're lower than them. But anyway, let's see if we can continue this. Anyone coming? No? No one's coming. Alright. I'm surprised. And I mean, just look at the bar at the top, yeah? So look at the bar at the top on the top right. That shows how many units they have remaining. And they got a lot. They got a lot. They're still technically outnumbering us. So I'm actually unsure how that is even possible, considering I have eliminated... Oh, hello. Because I've eliminated so many. But I think they're actually starting to catch on to the fact that I am killing them like no one's business, because they're actually coming down here to eliminate me. So we do have to be a bit careful. Hello. Yes, you have nothing. You have nothing. You cannot possibly defeat the wondrous Iceni Frost Maiden. Yes, that's our name. Very good. But let's just continue firing, I guess. Continue firing. And I'm actually wondering how many people I must have killed total. I mean, obviously over 5,000, because that's what we got the achievement for. And that's pretty crazy. Anyone? Oh, hello. Oh, I noticed that there was someone nearby to me because they pushed me or something like that. So we've got to be careful here. But I've got to continue shooting these enemies. Otherwise, we are never going to be able to complete this siege. Well, we might be able to, but it's going to take much longer. And I would much prefer to help out our forces a little bit here and there. There we go. There we go. Yes. Yes, you could fall down here and give me some more arrows, actually. That would be quite nice. But I don't think they're going to do that. Most of them don't seem to be wanting to do that. There we go. There's actually someone killing me. There we go. Take him out. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up some more arrows. There we go. Nice. Okay, this is working out much better than previously, because in my off-screen time, you know what happened? I literally got headshot straight away upon entering into the siege, and then I was like, okay, I'm done. And then I just retreated immediately. I didn't die. Just to stress that point, I did not die from the headshot, because as we've seen previously, I can't die from a single headshot. But, you know, it does a lot of damage. You know, it's like 60 damage or something like that. And I have a total of, I think, 84 HP or something like that. I think I have... No, I've actually got 92 HP. Oh, that's actually kind of crazy. But yeah, as you can see right here, my level up, I spec'd into Power Strike, and I spec'd into Pathfinding. And hopefully that's going to help us out. And I believe we're done, actually. Yes, we are. Look at that. Look at those kills right there. 406 we killed. I actually killed 128 personally, which is pretty crazy. And there you go. RANE has been taken. I'm actually very surprised. All right, 84 renown for us, 40 morale. Really nice. Unfortunately, we have to... Yeah, we still have to deal with the defenders in the streets. So that is going to be a bit of an issue. Well, I'm just gonna act like a decoy, because I have a basically impenetrable shield, And my forces will just attack them from behind where their shields are not, and then we can achieve a victory that way. There we go. Seems to be working quite nicely. There we go. I think most of my companions are actually really good now, and I'm kind of surprised because usually when I play Pendor, my companions are not exactly good. I mean, yes, you know, the classic companions like Sir RANE, Sir Alistair, Sir Jocelyn, so, you know, so on and so forth. All those guys, including Lethal Durin, are always really, really good, but people like Leslie, Alyssa, Sigismund's pretty good too, Julia and Kavera, they're not usually that powerful, but they're really powerful in my current playthrough. It's really kind of strange. I guess it's because of all the potions that we have chugged and gotten the massive amounts of stat bonuses. But anyway, let's do this. Alright, I've got to be careful here. I do not want to die at this point. Don't die, fellows. Oh, Sir RANE! Sir RANE is killing guys. I'm actually wondering whether any... Oh, nice DF, nice one. That was a nice headshot right there. And I'm actually really proud of my units for being so incredibly effective. They're just generally really good. And that's not something that I usually see, because my companions are usually not that effective ever, because either A, I'm really lazy and I'm very, very bad at gearing them up, or B, they just don't get any kills for whatever reason. But anyway, there you go. That is indeed a victory for us, and oh, we can actually take this guy prisoner, and he is an upstanding vassal, so that means he's actually going to join us. He is going to join us. I will take him prisoner right away. Wow, I could not have gotten luckier right there. Wow, that's pretty cool. Alright, so we have taken RANE. I took a whole bunch of prisoners as well, basically Dragon Drakes, Knights of the Dragon, and various other miscellaneous units, and I've completely filled up my prisoners' hold. So that is going to sell for a very nice amount, and hopefully help us out after upgrading our Knighthood Order once again. Anyway, there we go. Now, basically what I would do here usually is I would give this to the vassal that we have just captured, because he seemed to be doing a pretty decent job of defending it, although not against us, but, you know, the point is that he's decent, you know, he's decent. Anyway, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to give this to, I think, I'm not entirely sure who to give this to be honest, because I guess Donovan. So we're going to give that to him, and he's going to do very, very well with that, or at least I hope so. And there you go. Fantastic. Oh, there's actually another farmer here as well, so it seems like I will be doing another one of those bandit infestation quests. The honor! I need the honor! I've gotten so much honor by just helping farmers all the time. Wow, this is an absolute bloodbath for the opponent, as you can see right here. Rushed over to Duggan as soon as possible, and these guys are literally going to regret infesting this village. Because, let's face it, I'm the most accurate archer in the world. As you can quite clearly see, I haven't missed many shots at all. Not all of them. No, I'm doing alright, but, you know, not terribly well. I did do another bandit infestation quest off screen, actually, earlier. And I was, for some reason, hitting every single shot. And now, all of a sudden, nope, that's never good. That just all disappeared. That skill is just gone. You know, like a puff of smoke in thin air. Oh well, there you go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just murder. We're just going to murder all of the archers. Let's do it. There we go. Now there's one left. Maybe we can shoot him. Shoot him. Shoot him. Shoot him. There we go. Okay, yes. Just pretend that you just saw that last shot. That was good, wasn't it? Whoa, I killed him in one hit. Oh, that's fantastic. Very nice. Alright, so it's about time that we speak to Baron Leofwine, and we are going to be accepting his vassalage. Let's do it. There we go. Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, so I've arrived here in the Noldor capital, and we're going to be speaking to this fella. Yes. Here you go. You've done it. You bested all that Ellil has to offer. You are truly a mighty human worthy of Noldor's status. No one has ever achieved an undefeated record as much as you, including myself. In response, the lords of Ellil have agreed to gift you one of our most prized relics. Wear it with pride, champion of Pendor. Show the world that the Noldor think of you as an equal. It is with the greatest honor that I accept this most prized gift, even. Thank you. And there it is, the mystical rune plate, which, as you can see, is quite a bit worse than what I'm actually wearing, but of course you can upgrade it and change it to suit your needs. So you could change it to ruby, emerald, or sapphire, depending on what you want. And at the moment I'm not going to be doing anything with it, and I just thought I'd show you that this is how you get it. You need over 95 relation with the Noldor, and you also need to win 10 Noldor tournaments. I was able to get the last bit of relation that I needed through helping some Noldor patrols just in and around Empire territory against the Empire, because of course I was actually at war against them until recently. So that's pretty nice. Okay, so now it is time for us to turn our attention to the inner sanctum of Sarlian itself. And that means actually attacking a couple more vassals, because they're actually right outside Sarlian itself. And bear in mind that I kind of want to avoid Avendor if I can. I personally feel like Sarlian itself is going to be a little bit easier for us to besiege than Avendor, because Avendor, as we know, it's really frustrating to try and take Avendor, to be honest, but who knows, maybe I'll actually be able to get a bit lucky as we go back there relatively soon. Now, the one thing that I want to do, of course, is I would love to be able to capture King Ulrich, if at all possible. If it is possible, if I have the opportunity to do so, then I'll definitely do that, because he does have his unique weapon up for grabs, and his unique weapon is the longest, most powerful lance in the game. And so it is definitely going to be something that we will want to try and aim for, but it is not something that I will strictly just be trying for the entire time. It's not like a Quellis gem for me, even though it is going to be a fantastic weapon for someone if you're a particularly good lancer, or your character focuses on using lancers or anything like that, then it is going to be the weapon that you will require. It's going to be required for those of you that are playing as a knight or something along those lines. But for me, it's not really a necessity, and so if I have the opportunity, I'll definitely try to take him prisoner and definitely try to get that unique weapon. But otherwise, it's just going to be too much hassle for me to try and do that. So I will just be a little bit more, shall we say, a little bit more cautious about my pursuit of his unique weapon. And while I would love to try it out, because I don't think I have ever gained this weapon, I'd love to do it, I'd love to try and get it, and I'd love to show you that we can get it, but, as I say, I think it's going to be easy enough to defeat him, but it's not going to be very easy to defeat him and 8 vassals alongside him or something along those lines, because I think he's actually in the garrison still. This is Lord Eric, by the way. We might have an opportunity to take him prisoner, and I think we're actually going to take him prisoner, and we will try and see whether he actually accepts our offer. Aha, look at this. Yes, he is going to accept our offer, and he is going to become our vassal. He has 7 relation at the moment, so I think as long as they have above 5 relation or something like that, dependent on your persuasion skill as well. I think it definitely takes your persuasion skill into account, and I have 8, I think. Don't I have 8 in persuasion or something like that? But yeah, I think I have a decently high skill, so we're going to be accepting this as well. He fails to bring over any centers, but that's not really I don't really care about that. And what do we have here? We have another vassal from the Kingdom of Sarlian. He actually managed to almost escape me, because he was on the outskirts of my spotting skill. Yeah, I know, it's kind of impossible to have that happen, because my spotting skill is actually pretty good. But yeah, even so, he was actually trying to get back into Sarlian's garrison, and I did not want that to happen, because he has 146, doesn't he? I think so. Not entirely sure due to my battle size at the moment, but I think he has about 146, and we need to prevent that from getting into the garrison if we're going to have any opportunity to eliminate Sarlian itself, and indeed try to capture the town. So we'll see what we can do against this cunning vassal. This is actually a cunning reputation vassal, and he's going to be very easy for us to eliminate, I think, because look at this riverbank right here. This just is the most perfect of environments, because those cavalry are going to have to go into the water, and and then they're going to have to get out of the water, and the water is relatively deep for them as well, so it slows them down by a pretty considerable margin, and it's just overall great. You know, it's just a fantastic situation to be in. We're just going to continue shooting a couple of people here as well, because we can, and we do have the opportunity to do so. And, oh yeah, I think that someone actually did say, how do I tell how the people are feeling about me? So in other words, what kinds of personalities do these lords have, and how do I find that out? Do I need any particular skills to be able to do that? Well, you don't. You don't need any skills to be able to see that. You just need to left click on their portraits or on their entries in the notes, and then you'll be able to figure that out, because it will say reputation, whatever it may be, you know. So it will say reputation cunning or reputation upstanding or something along those lines. Most of the time, I think you're going to find vassals that are martial personalities. I seem to be able to find a huge amount of those, but the other personalities are a little bit less prevalent, but they are very much worth trying to hunt down, because upstanding personalities, good-natured personalities, I think good-natured is probably the rarest. I haven't seen many of those. And of course then you have upstanding, and then you have pitiless and cunning. Cunning is okay. Cunning is not a particularly bad one. It's more on the fence. It's kind of like a gray area more than anything. Because what happens with cunning guys is if you give them 3 fiefs, I believe, then they really don't mind if you give fiefs to other people, because they themselves have a good amount of land, and that's all they really care about. So, yeah, I believe that's the kind of vassal that Lethal Durin actually is. So if you do make Lethal Durin into a vassal of yours, then bear that in mind, that he's going to need quite a few fiefs to prevent him from losing relation with you over the course of you awarding fiefs to other people. And I think Marshall is relatively similar as well, but they, I think they need 2. Don't they? Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. I looked at that particular documentation a while ago, so I'm a bit foggy on the details on that. But I just know that Marshall and both Marshall and Cunning need a number of fiefs to be able to prevent themselves from having any kind of relation loss in comparison to upstanding and good-natured vassals that don't care. Like literally, you could give them basically nothing, and they would be absolutely fine with you providing fiefs to other people as long as they are in your faction. So it's really good to have those and to try and target those for recruitment. And there we have it. We were able to defeat him. Unfortunately, he did manage to escape. That is to be expected. Not really a big deal to me though, because as I've said before, he is he's not really my target. Oh. No, I did not want to put the mystical rune blade in there. Thank you very much. But I will be putting everything else, and we'll just allow our forces just to take whatever they want, because I did say that I was going to do that with the Noldor armor that we gained from the tournament, and it seems like they have now swapped them out, which is good. And I think with that, that's going to be it for this episode. Next time, we're going to be attempting to eliminate and indeed capture Sarlian itself, and hopefully capture King Ulrich in the process. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.